It's not an AMA, short recap about the games. This is a play-by-play. No Instagram, these holograms. Boy, these ain't the same. This our Harmon, you know we do things a different way. We got in the room, come join the team, but don't be in the way. Stay tuned, join that Patreon, we do giveaways. Magnetic and ATM, you know they on a different wave. Sunday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, pick a day. This our Harmon, you know that we glad you here today. This not an AMA. This not an AMA. This not an AMA. Short recap about the games. This is the play-by-play.
Yep. Happy Sunday. Welcome into NFL Week 3 Fantasy Football Recap. Adam, still got one game going on. It's interesting.
Sure do. Well, I mean, it's crazy because we tried to come on time, Mike. We're a couple minutes late, believe it or not. But the Cowgirls are trying to make a game of this thing, buddy. You know, I mean, This
might be the closest to our actual start time we've ever started.
For sure. I mean, well, the thing is, too, like, the game, I mean, mere minutes ago, I mean, you know, like literally 15 minutes ago, this didn't seem like it was going to be a game at all. It was a runaway train.
Man.
Now, I mean, honestly, though, I'm okay with it because the 1 o'clock slate as a whole, I'll just start off by saying this. Really, I think as a whole, disappointed, dude. It was just wasn't very fun for fantasy football managers in any capacity, personally. What do you think? You with me on this?
Yes, man. It hadn't been a good fucking year. I don't like it's just been like every week seems like I'm flaccid by the time we come on these shows.
I mean, it's like all the good stuff that does happen kind of feels like it's amassed by the just crap and shit, you know?
Like the most excitement we get has been primetime games, and in the past, Adam, you know, like those usually disappoint. Like they turn into blowouts, or like it's a defensive fuckfest, and no one gives a shit.
Sure.
But like they've been fun. The primetime games have all been good. The Sunday games, even though we have so many of them, it's like sad trombone. It's terrible.
Well, let's start off with what's not surprising anymore at all, and I just don't get the second touchdown. But Mike, I mean, the league neighbors is just him, man. I mean,
how many firsts? That was a conversation in the Discord.
I saw in the Discord it went from 4 to like 5 to 6. I don't really know what the actual answer is, but I don't think you can have a better single start to the first 3 games of his career than what you've got right now with Malik, buddy. After the game he had last week, I'm just sure of myself that the Browns are not going to let him be the thing that is going off, and wouldn't you have it, you know? Would you have it any other way?
That's wild, man. He went out and actually absolutely cooked. He was going to be wide receiver 1 on the week if there wasn't this dude named Juwan Jennings who apparently is a GOAT.
Yeah, well, he needs a hologram. I mean, I was convinced I didn't need one, and that's just that's RIP take on my part.
Wrong.
Yeah, let's Mike, I mean, let's talk Danny Dimes.
Dude, talk about the trash can quarterback standing up at the top. Let's go. I mean, we're even getting garbage time Dak right now. Like I missed garbage time Dak. I don't know about you, Adam, but I missed garbage time.
Of course I did.
Dak.
Oh, I missed him until this week, and now I feel like, okay, we're back, dude. Dak went from my one team here where I was in a pretty big pinch of a game, Mike, 6 points to 34. So I ran away with it, but I thought we were in trouble because he was just terrible for so long.
He was, but Danny Dimes, man, let's not besmirch the good name. Damn near 20 fantasy points. He's going to finish as a QB1 on the week. Oh, he took it to the Browns defense, of all things.
I mean, I feel like it's not that hard to know, but, you know, what about Devin Singletary?
He's all right. He's all right. I make fun of him all the time. He should have had an extra touchdown, too, but he did the right thing by, you know, we're going to take it down.
Yeah.
You take it down.
There's a game of mine, Mike, where that could end up being a huge part of it. That would be so awesome if that helped me win.
He looked like he got a little juice to him, man. Maybe the motor nickname isn't. I don't need to make fun of it as much anymore.
I will say one thing about the Browns. Okay, I didn't take very long for my money moves to pay off. The whole offense as a whole sucks. This team sucks. There's not much good about it. Even a lot of Amari Cooper's plays didn't necessarily look the greatest. Like the one was a little high. I don't know if he should have gotten up higher or what, but Amari Cooper, Mike, everyone said he's dead. I mean, he might be, but he at least gave you this week, you know?
Hey, Watson hit him on a couple beautiful balls too. Just so
Sure did.
Before we shit on the rest of Deshaun Watson, you look at the stat sheet for Deshaun Watson, it's not good. But Amari Cooper, he came out, he played like he was actually prepared. He didn't look like the first 2 weeks of Amari Cooper at all.
I will say, definitely still some question. There was a lot of lack of separation on some of those catches, but went up and got it.
Yep. He man-moded it.
I think
I like
that's
it. So yeah, if
I
you
think
panicked on Amari Cooper, holy shit, like you're kind of regretting it this week. But
I hope some of those trades weren't real, but I know that they are, unfortunately.
They are. They're actually real. They're actually fucking
Unfortunately.
real. Those poor people.
Well, it happens. Let's Mike.
Dude, let's talk about your offensive line real quick though.
It's in shambles, buddy. It's in fucking shambles.
How many linemen can you guys lose? Is the answer all of them?
Yes. Watching Joel Bitonio have to play left tackle is just a disaster. Like, I'm like, he looks terrible out there. It's like even that part of the offensive line is bad. The whole offensive line sucks right now, man.
Still no Conklin. Jedrick Wills left again. Finally back, and we're like, oh, he leaves again. Wyatt Teller gone. He left the game, didn't return. Jerome Ford can't do fuck.
No.
Deontay Foreman can't do fuck. Watson's getting sacked 8 goddamn times by the Giants.
It's bad, man.
And it was still a game. It was still a game, man. You should take that. Here's
well,
your consolation.
that should all that should tell you is how freaking terrible the this team is, man. I mean, the Giants on the other side, we were gift wrapped in that game to them over and over, and they just didn't want to take it. It is what it is. Let's get to a different game. Let's get to another blow up, Mike. Another money move didn't take long to pay off. Shocking. Odunze.
That dude, man. It was tough, right? Malik Neighbors was solid in week 1. Marv didn't do shit. Malik Neighbors and Marv both blew up in week 2. Rome didn't do shit. And people are like, Mike, you're a fucking idiot. Like, how could you even rank Rome Odunze even close to these two? Ta-da! I present you one Roman Odunze.
It feels very much like, Mike, the cool part about this has been, it's like, okay, Malik had his solo week 1, right? Then we let Marv get a huge piece of the action, but Malik didn't go away. Now we have all 3 of them having a nice little week here in week 3. 11. I think the thing with Rome was there was more to be had. This offense still doesn't look at all what it should or what you hope it will down the road. But 11 targets in this game. Like, there was a lot of meat still left on the bone, and he had a really big game.
Caleb overthrew him a couple times too, where you should have massive plays. Dude could have had 200 and 3 tutties on the day. Caleb just missed him.
Speaking of Caleb, where are you at with this guy right now? Like, what should we tell people realistically to think?
Listen, the second half Caleb is what we all wanted to see, like what we thought, right? The comeback mode Caleb, he was out there and he was making plays left and right. The throws were on point. First half Caleb was a lot like we saw in the first 2 weeks at him, and there was one horrible interception. Him and A-Rich were dueling for terrible plays. The quarterback position.
The quarterback play in the first half, even a little bit of the first second half was terrible, hard to watch.
I was watching. They had that game on live, and Caleb's standing there and he's looking to his right. He's looking to his second read, and I saw him turn his head, and I said, "Don't throw the flat." Fucking throws the flat. The corner just jumps it. 7th round corner, by the way, who I was on a show, Club Fantasy. Michael Scioli was trashing that 7th round corner. Like, who the fuck's this dude? 2 picks on the day, by the way. 2 picks for that 7th round corner. He did all right.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm not very optimistic from what I've seen from Caleb so far, but at the same time, I think it's growing pains, man. I think you're gonna have to wait before the Caleb you're hoping for is unleashed. Personally, that's just where it was a very promising second half for me. I really liked what I saw. The Bears as an offense, though, they need to figure out how to run the fucking football because nobody can. Don't matter if it's Herbert DeAndre
or
Swift
Swift.
DeAndre Swift was terrible today.
They have not done fuck all year in the running game, so they need to figure their shit out. At least they figured out their shit. Throw it to DJ Moore, throw it to Rome Odunze, throw it to Cole Kmet. Fuck everybody else.
Yeah. That's a good way to look at it. Thoughts on DJ Moore today?
Solid. I mean, he's going to be in the unfavorable position of drawing coverage. I mean, because he's DJ Moore. So,
Sure.
My prediction, and it was just kind of out there, Adam, about Rome Odunze is maybe by the end of the year, Rome Odunze is the leading receiver on the Bears. And I think you kind of seen it today. Like, DJ Moore's still going to eat.
Yeah.
But Rome's going to be the benefit of, like, single coverage, weaker corners, that kind of thing. So DJ Moore is going to have to earn his a little bit more with his yak ability, which he definitely can do. I think the more splash, wow, wide open plays, unlike what DJ Moore got last year, is going to be the Rome Odunze show.
Sure. What do you think here? Let's go to.
Do we get a Cole Kmet hologram? I mean, finally tight ends.
I mean, Mike, I'll be honest with you. We do. Poor guy. There's going to be some holograms, Mike, that are just not quite here. Every week we're catching up, and we're like,
I get you.
We got 5 more to get. I mean, Mike, I had to make a whole new. The Panthers holograms I was convinced I never needed to make, and then I had to make at least a couple of those. So, let's see here. What should we talk about next? I'll tell you what, buddy.
Same game though. Can we get some Jonathan Taylor love?
I was just going to get to the
RB1 overall discussion.
The Colts are definitely the game to discuss here. I mean, let me ask you first and foremost. Let's talk about one Michael Pittman here. What do you think?
Another fucking day on a milk carton, man. This A-Rich shit is, those people who were concerned last week, and I told you you're all fucking crazy, and I'll buy all the A-Rich. 2 weeks in a row now, Adam. This dude, like, what the fuck are you doing? What are you doing?
Yeah,
it's Will Levis bad at times. It really is.
Yeah, it's not great. I mean, talk to me about where you're at with this guy as far as Dynasty goes. Like, is it panic time?
You might be. You might still have some sucker out there like me who still believes.
Won't let it go.
Actionable advice, right? Process play. If you can sell them around that like low end wide receiver 2 prices, you might just be better off moving on from Michael Pittman. Damn. Like, he's gonna have a week here soon where you're like, you'll probably regret it. But these growing pains with this fucking offense and Anthony Richardson as a whole, it's actually starting to become a reality, Adam. And I don't want to see people left holding the bag like I'm gonna be. I got a feeling I'm gonna be holding the bag on this fucking guy.
I gotta ask you too while we have it up here, buddy. Like I'm not gonna say I'm panicked at all, but when it's bad, it's really bad. It's starting to feel like even worse. Like some of these throws, holy shit, buddy.
They still got the dub, but
we had Pittman up there a second ago. He had Pittman wide spanking open, and he overthrew him like by a mile. It's like there was at least 4 throws today that are like, holy shit, not NFL quarterback throws at all. Yeah,
he had that little flip in the end zone too. I know it got tipped, but still, it was a terrible decision. Anyways, it was probably getting picked whether it got tipped or not because he just kind of just floated it. I was like, what? Why? Why are you doing this shit?
I don't know. I'll be honest, like
frustrating.
I'm not sure why JT won't come up. I think JT was the only thing to take away from this Colts offense of promise, personally for me. Like outside of that, it was nothing.
We'll talk about it. Welcome back, man. And he looked fucking good, man. Some of his cuts. Oh my god.
The one touchdown he had with the jump cut to the right was had the announcers doing the like, dude, that was crazy.
Yeah. Jonathan Taylor, though, do you think he's back in that, we want to talk about just this year? Is he in that RB1 overall discussion?
I'm not sure I'm quite ready to go there, but after today, you certainly could make the case. I'll say that. I would like to see another game, but Mike, that JT we just saw today is the one that if you've been clamoring, that's the one you were wanting to see. That's the guy right there. I mean,
he got robbed of a touchdown too, man. Stop putting Trey Sermon in.
Well,
no one wants to see that shit.
I mean, the good news is he still, even with that said, it was what we saw. I mean, Mike, I'll tell you one thing. Let's go to this Broncos game, and I say Broncos game because the Bucs was. You never know. Any given Sunday, I still think people need to, Sunday. Right? Like maybe.
You want to talk about other?
Bo Nix doesn't want to come up either. Terrible.
Dude, no Bo Nix.
Come on, Bo.
Bo was balling today.
Yeah, he sure was.
Balling.
We're gonna
He
make
was-
sure we
he
get
was
this one
pushing-
up. I'm gonna do whatever it takes, but keep
He
going.
was pushing the ball down the field, and he was scrambling. Tactical scrambles. Bo Nix showing off his athleticism. Love to
Dude,
see it, man.
Did you expect to see that big of a letdown as well from the Buccaneers? Like that was another surprising thing to me.
Dude, power rankings wise, like heading into this week, like that had to be one of the most surprising high flying teams. Like that offense had been clicking all year so far when a lot of other people hadn't. The defense was playing lights out. Nothing showed up today.
No.
Nothing. Rashad White again sucks. God damn, he's bad.
Sure is.
He's
Terrible.
bad, man. I'm not a big Bucky Irvin fan, but the heady play might be go see if somebody will let you get some Bucky Irvin, because this dude's going to take over for fucking Rashad White real soon.
You think so?
I'm not big on this. You know, I've always been like anti Jalen Warren over Najee, this kind of thing. Like the backup always looks better. Rashad White looks like fucking ass. He looks slow. He doesn't do shit. There's no yards after the contact. Like he just catches dump off passes. Like this dude. I had high hopes for Rashad White too coming out of college, and you know, pleasantly surprised, I guess, last year, and now it's like right back in the shitter. This dude is booty cheeks, and not the good kind. It's like my booty cheeks.
What did you make of Bo Nix today? I'm actually kind of genuinely curious.
Very, very impressed by Bo today.
For sure. I think you're lying if you aren't, man. I mean,
Can we say outside of Jaden Daniels, Bo has been the most impressive rookie quarterback now, because none of the other ones have done fuck?
I mean,
Caleb had a hat, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, that's not. I guess that's not a lofty bar. Like it's not saying much, but at the same time, like I think Bo left a lot to be desired personally, especially last week. But this week,
it was check down bullshit all the time.
This week, I'll say especially in the way that they were using him on some designed runs, that I think should give people a little bit more positive feeling about his fantasy upside too. I'm not going to say he's like I'm not going to say he's some crazy high ceiling play, but I think his floor is a little better maybe with those type of runs.
There was no chance in fuck I'd ever start Bo Nix heading into this week, and now after this week, you're like, maybe next week I might start Bo Nix with some of these quarterback performances you've seen. Like, he could be a solid QB2 for you, and he's got that Russian floor.
Yeah. Chris Godwin again has after a unbelievably slow start from the entire team, had a nice finish for Chris Godwin today.
Look, I hope for everyone's sake, you know, fantasy wise, Mike Evans second half of the season comes back to be the Mike Evans we've all known and loved. But early season Mike Evans, you can definitely say that Chris Godwin's the fucking alpha on this team.
Oh yeah.
In this slot role, this is all Chris Godwin all the time, and it's Mike who at this point. So Chris Godwin, man, I definitely think, for me, in dynasty purposes on a contending fucking team, is there any question that Chris Godwin's worth a first now?
Nah, I don't. Not even close.
Take him, Chris Godwin for a first all fucking day, man. I want all the Chris Godwin on my contending teams.
First and a second,
that alpha, that dude. You might send a first and a second for him too.
I think I wouldn't go past that, but I think if you were like, fuck it, I need him. What do you want? I mean,
what do you want, right? Like, boost him up, man. Come on, good friends at Keep Trade Cut. Give this guy the fucking props he deserves.
I do think his old Mike Evans of last year might not be quite the same with the new Chris Godwin seemingly being back, man.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say I'm not panicked on Evans, but I think the old floor and ceiling play just aren't the same as they once were. That's the way I'm kind of at with him.
Well, Baker Reagan stunk. So
absolutely trash. Really bad.
Maybe that's playing into it. He was god awful.
Sure,
disgusting. I mean, he was worse than Deshaun Watson on the day, by far.
It's hard to believe, but I guess
he was.
No, I mean, I'm not gonna tell you that you're not right here. It's hard to believe is all I'll say. Let's get to this Cowgirls game, huh?
Yeah. Take another L.
Okay. Where are you at with all this here, buddy? Talk to me, man.
Dallas is in trouble, man. I know Fizz will tell you we don't worry about September. He'll say that shit. We'll see you in January, which Dallas also chokes in January too. So I don't know why he wants to get to January so fucking fast. But This is something fucked up with this team, man. Does Mike McCarthy make it through the year? I think that's the question.
Yeah,
because they can't run the football
so.
for fuck. They can't run the football for shit.
Yeah, I started with Zeke because it's not his fault. He's trash. He's not the same. He's old. But this run game is terrible. It's terrible, buddy. It's bad.
It's French. It's so bad.
It's awful. I don't even know if that's French. It was muttered. It was garbage, man. Fucking trash, man.
And listen, like these last 2 weeks, outside of let's just look where we're at. Outside of Week 1 versus a Browns team that just gave up 8 sacks because they have no fucking offensive line. Everybody's hurt. Outside of Week 1, their defense can't even play.
Yeah. No, that's
their
fair.
Their defense
that's
looks
fair.
fucking terrible. The Saints just bodied them last week. The same Saints team which the Eagles shut down today on offense. The offense just looks fucking off. They don't have a good plan of like what they were doing last year when they're successful, get the ball to CeeDee Lamb. And I don't know if that's defenses playing this offense differently, being like make Jake Ferguson and Brandon Cooks and Jalen Tolbert beat us.
It looks very much to me like teams are like 88 is being keyed on, but to the highest level that you could be. You know what Malik Neighbors should start getting. Like just let someone else beat us. And I'll tell you, buddy, it was. I guess they gave it a valiant effort for real life, but I mean, without that, Dak's day was terrible. Like it was a comeback Dak again, you know.
Yeah, garbage time Dak, man. This looked like Cowboys from like 2 years ago. Looked disgusting.
I'll just say I had a feeling, Mike, with the Ravens with their back against the wall. I had a feeling this was not going to go the way the Cowboys wanted it to. It just the Ravens played like a team that were fucking needing a victory in a bad way early.
The Cowboys couldn't do fucking shit until Baltimore let their foot off the gas. You know, and like, shit, we're up 3 scores. We're good. Let's take this back to fucking B-more and we'll be good to go. And then Dallas started to do some things, and they made it an actual game. You know, so good for them. But, like, I've seen this fucking story from this Dallas team before. Like, I think we all have many times. So, yikes. Hey. Remember when he was dead and sucked and terrible? And Mike, you're an idiot. You were going to trade a first for fucking Derrick Henry.
I mean, it's amazing too because like at times early on in this game, it still looked like rumbling, stumbling. Like we're just. Well, Mike, you got him a lead, and you got this guy the ball, and there was some old reminiscent plays happening today, buddy. It's a big freak of nature. I think what I saw today confirmed, to me at least, what I was hoping was going to be the case, which is Derrick Henry's going to probably be pretty game script dependent, but still has the boom upside. And without today, people are convinced that doesn't exist. Bad news for the haters. Bad news for the haters on the upside play. Like the upside's still there.
Let's just think about this logically. You know, early in the season, Derrick Henry, everybody's fresh. Nobody played in the fucking preseason. Everybody's body's feeling real good. And we're getting to week 3, and I'm watching dudes make business decisions already. Like, fuck, man, it's 3 weeks in. We're almost a month into this shit. My back ain't feeling the greatest.
Sure.
We're making fucking business decisions on Derrick Henry already.
Yeah.
They keep getting this guy cranked up like that. And the thing I like today is they stopped with all the shotgun bullshit, and they actually did some under center Derrick Henry, you know, single back runs.
Right.
Keep mixing that shit in, please. Because Lamar on the boot action coming out, like that's gonna hold some fucking people, man. You want Lamar just roll it out free and clear on a naked boot? Fuck no. You need to account for him too.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, Lamar looks so freaking agile and nimble. So like the combination they have right now, if Henry can keep this up, is just thunder and lightning like you've never seen before, man. It's kind of crazy.
Passing wise, it wasn't the greatest, but I mean, when Derrick Henry's running for 150 and 2 tutties, and Lamar's just out there damn near going for 100 on his own, do you need to throw the football that much?
No, well, I mean,
so is the way of Zay Flowers, I guess.
Yeah, Zay, it is what it is. I mean, you're not going to always have great days from him. I think Zay's more of a wide receiver 2 type, realistically. Like, you shouldn't be expecting him to get to that next level, personally, just because this passing game isn't going to be as consistent as some others because they're going to have great rushing days, in my opinion. That's just nothing against Zay, right? Like
I wanted to turn him up and possibly put him into that like Smitty conversation, and I don't think it's ever going to get there, man. I really don't. Not like this. I mean,
what
not
I
as
will
long as
say
Derrick Henry.
is Mark Andrews,
Milk
buddy,
carton.
I'm ready to be scared. I'm scared, buddy.
Right?
I'm real scared.
I would be, man. Somebody offered me, I think on Thursday, Mark Andrews for my Brock Bowers straight up. That was the fastest I think I've ever just hit decline.
In a hurry.
Glad I dodged that shit. Here, I'll counter. Send me a first, too.
Nah, I might even let you have it, buddy. Like, dude, Mark Andrews is looking cooked, man. Sheesh, not good.
Do you wonder? I mean, it's the same kind of injury that he had that Tony Pollard did last year, you know, and how slow Tony Pollard started, and then towards the end of the season, he looked like himself, right? Do you think maybe that's kind of the case with Mark Andrews? I mean, that those ankle fractures, I guess. Now we got 2 years in a row of dudes starting terribly slow and just not looking like themselves.
Maybe, but Mark Andrews is, I'm not going to say he's old, but for someone that's struggling to move like this, on the older side. So when do we see him look right? And then does he ever get back to the old Mark Andrews? I mean, I'm not going to say it's dead in the water, like he's never going to happen, but
right.
I'm, you know, if it's 29-30 already and we're worried about that, I'm ready to say he's out of this tier by a good bit for me. Like he's
the only good thing, just to pour cold water on the whole thing. I just want to check in. How's that Isaiah Likely tight end 6 keep trade cut ranking? How's that still working out?
He's having his points for the season are still wildly up there, and they're all, you know, riding that week 1, buddy. So I guess that's good, right?
How's that fab in them seasonal leagues? How'd that work out for you?
Well,
pretty good.
I mean, buddy, I don't know. How about Malik Willis?
Look at this dude, man. You got a hologram for Malik Willis. Let's go.
Mike, there was enough time after what he did to. It's like he had this revenge game going against that poor team. Is not even. It's a semblance of what he had to deal with, but the revenge game was real. He went bananas, dude. He should have had a blow up, frankly.
He might be a top 5 quarterback on the week.
I don't think Might's in play at all, bruh. Like right now, I'm looking. He's currently quarterback 1 and 4 point per passing touchdown.
What an animal, man. He went out there and just fucking put it to him. And he did it all with 13 completions. But they were big completions down the field, man, making big plays. I love it.
Yeah, I mean, outside of him, I mean, you know, the offense as a whole outside of him was just – it was – I'll say this. They're doing a great job of putting him in a good situation to not fuck things up and to succeed. It's not the most fun recipe of football, man. It's just not.
I don't remember which one it was, but it's one of Barry's Triple Crown leagues. Right when Jordan Love got hurt and they said Malik Willis was going to be starting. I put in a waiver bid for Malik Willis for like $13 or whatever it was.
Yeah.
Nobody else fucking bid. Nobody. So immediately you have that regret when it goes through. You're like, oh fuck,
yeah.
Oh, fuck. Dude's gonna win me a week. I think that $13 was well spent.
Here's a good question. I saw one here. Malik Neighbors or Garrett Wilson at Dynasty, Mike? Where you at?
Neighbors
too. I agree.
Neighbors
is going to get uncomfortably high. Like he is.
Yeah.
Mike, what did I say about Malik Neighbors? I said
Jamar
it's already
Chase better fucking show up this week. How about that?
I said it's already baked in with Malik that he's going to have Daniel Jones. All the excuses and reasons for him not to succeed are already there. Like the Drake London, Garrett Wilson stuff's already baked in. But if he smashes in this situation, in any capacity, let alone what he started doing, what's keeping him away from these guys? I mean, he's going to be on the heels and very much in the Marv conversation, I believe, too.
Yep.
He should be anyway.
Love it.
Let's see. What else do we get to? I tell you what, buddy. I mean, I think at this point we got to at least talk about the change in scenery for the Carolina Panthers. I mean,
no Andy Dalton hologram though.
Nah, we don't have an Andy Dalton hologram.
They look like a completely different team.
Dude, I'll just say this is not a good way for the next game to go for Bryce Young.
Bryce Young is going to start fucking games for the Carolina Panthers yet this year.
It could be.
I'm still there.
It could be. What I'm saying is, like, as far as teams really dialing up the phone, like, let me go get Bryce Young after today, I don't think those calls are coming in hot and heavy. I'm not death sentencing his career, but this was not an ideal next game after they bench Bryce. I mean, Andy Dalton, they had this team moving. I mean, holy crap, man. Adam Thielen.
He was cooking, man.
We woke up Adam Thielen. I mean, what the hell?
Andy Dalton had this team looking like it was the best offense in the league.
Like it was just waiting for any breath of life, you know?
Dude, Chuba's out there cooking. Miles Sanders did some shit. Adam Thielen's out there.
I had to be selective. I had to make a whole new team of holograms, and I picked 2, okay? Because the team looked totally different. Completely different, man.
The only thing Andy Dalton did not do today, Adam, was make me like very excited about Xavier Legette. Like if Xavier Legette would have went out there and exploded for a game, I would have been like, fuck. Andy Dalton's him. He's him.
Yeah, I mean
the red rifle.
I mean, Mike, the other thing was there any surprise? To me, it's still September, and we have one more game in September. I mean, this is Mr. September after all. So at least give the kid his fucking month. I mean, this is when Mr. September goes off, you know?
Dude, shout out to you if you had the stones, too, to start Deontay Johnson this week.
You may have had no other choice, but even then, still good on you because it wasn't an easy one to fire up. Just no way, right?
Not after the start of the season. There's no fucking way. I love it.
All right, let's talk about the Cardinals, man.
Let's do it.
I mean,
Kyler looked bad.
This is a up and down. Like these last 2 weeks are like got schizophrenic Kyler Murray here, right? There was
a tweet that came out maybe on Saturday. I saw that Terry and Arnold, and I don't remember who the fucking other corner is. They were like graded out as the worst in deep ball coverage so far on the season. Mm-hmm. And I saw the stat during the game. Kyler had been like 6 for 6 on passes 20 yards in the air with like 3 touchdowns. I think that dude was like 0 for 6 today.
Fizz, you were so right, by the way. Like, this, I think, speaks to the point I was making about how the 1 o'clock games, there was so much to be desired from fantasy this week. And we're talking a lot of positive stuff about Dalton. Not as much Carr this week, but about Dalton anyway. So,
yeah.
Man, I don't know. This offense wasn't a fun one to watch, man. Personally, just wasn't.
I mean, Kyler, he had a bad game. I didn't think he was very good, but just think about it because he's got a 45 yards rushing on the ground. You're still going to be like QB 15-ish in the range, so not a complete shit show.
Yep.
Which is why I always say you want those Konami code quarterbacks because even on their bad games, they're still pretty decent.
Yeah. Chuba Hubbard finishes right now at least as running back 4 for what it's worth, but
not this guy. He wouldn't.
I'm doing some scrolling here, Mike. Holy shit! How bad was it?
He was terrible,
dude. I'm literally not seeing his name anywhere. Like
9 for 17, a cool average of 1.9 yards per carry.
Mike, running back 37. When I say I'm scrolling, that's where we're at. Oof. I mean, he's right in between Dare Agawambale and Javonte Williams, Jalen Wright, Jeff Wilson Jr. This is where he finishes for the week.
Hell yeah. Let's go. That's what I'm talking about.
Not great. What about Marv today?
Marv, I mean, solid. Now, because he didn't Malik Neighbors it, the conversation will be like, who's better? And people will say Neighbors, but Marv still looked good. He just needs Kyler to, do some things a little bit better. He sailed some fucking passes to Marv, and he underthrew him in the end zone, which should have been another easy touchdown. So because he had one tutty, right? Yep, had one tutty early in the game. I think it might have been right in the first quarter. Ran a nice sideline route.
Yeah, sideline. Yep.
Nailed it. Yep.
Yeah, I mean, I think there was a lot to be desired for Marv today from what the start he had. I think he could have set the world on fire with.
Marv also fucked one up too. Like he dropped one that would have. It wouldn't have been a touchdown. Yeah, I mean he adjusted perfectly. He just fucking dropped it.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Looks like Trey McBride didn't do much today, and I'm pretty sure that dude might not be playing next week. It looked like he got a nasty concussion.
It sure did. Michael
Wilson. Look at that. I didn't know we had a hologram from Michael Wilson.
We do. Do we need to keep it?
Maybe. He looked pretty nice out there.
He's honestly he looks like he really looks the part. I'll be honest with you. I can't hate on him.
Number 2 wide receiver.
He does.
Now I don't know how much of this. Greg Dortch was banged up with a hammy, and it had been the Greg Dortch show, all season to this point. So maybe that played into it. But a few Michael Wilson speculative buys. Go out there in Dynasty and just
I wonder though.
For a third, maybe.
I just wonder, Mike, if like me personally, there was some stands. So I wonder if like he's can be had cheap or if the stands are just like
still standing.
Yeah, like now the price went up to unreasonable.
Probably.
I genuinely don't know. But
it's worth a shot.
He honestly in best ball, Mike, I'm a lot more intrigued than I thought I'd be. Frankly, I'll give you that. I guess that's my my take here on the thing going on with the Cardinals. All right, Mike, let's talk about. I don't know how many times we need to see this, but I'm okay with seeing it every week. Frankly, DK, man.
I love it, man. I'm a giant DK Metcalf fan. I always thought he'd get disrespected all the time.
Yeah,
it's crazy to say that a 6'3" wide receiver who weighs 230 pounds, who fucking looks like that, and can literally go out in like Olympic trials and hold his own when he's sprinting.
He can be bored. he got people like, very bored. He got people very bored in Dynasty, Mike.
He ain't even the number 1 receiver on his team, Mike. Shut the fuck up.
Now, Mike, I'm not going to put a blow up because I'll never hear the end of it, so I won't do that. The tight end position as a whole doesn't need much to be a blow up, but I'm just going to leave it as what it is. 6 for 60? Come on now. Don't hate on him. Don't call it a comeback, baby.
Something?
Buddy, I actually called this week I had as my deep cut for tight ends Noah Fant. And I'll tell you why I put that up there, other than the fact that at this point I have no choice but to lean into it, right? Mike, first 2 weeks, Noah Fant was 13th in the NFL in targets. Now, that's not saying a lot because there's only 7. There's only 7 in 2 weeks, Mike. But that's how little the tight end position as a whole has any type of consistency. So
look at you go.
I wish I started him more because the only times I had him in lineup and didn't start him, it was a dead body I put in front of him. But listen, 6 for 60 at the tight end position in general is good. This tight end, dude, the tight end position, the landscape is fucking trash, bro. So bad.
Dude, put that Mr. B comment up there because I love this. Very last one.
Seahawks beating this too high shit by running up tempo air raid. It's awesome. Yeah, you're not wrong.
Fucking shout out Ryan Grubb. My man.
Cora, what's going on, Cora? How are you, babe? Can't wait to see you soon. That's my little niece. So, Mike, let me ask you because we're gonna get to I want to get to one of the blow up games for you in general, but at the tight end position, I'm just curious your thoughts though on Noah Fant today.
It was solid, man. I didn't know you had him as a deep dive. You were digging deep on this one. It's good to see him do something.
There's not much at the tight end position, buddy. There just isn't,
And listen, the tight ends who are scoring at him, it's a fucking dice roll every single week, man. Like, I don't know. So why not Noah Fant? Huh? Why not?
I mean, dude, it was just to give you an idea of this week when you don't have tight end premium, okay? We have Goddard and Kmet, the 2 blow-ups, 15 and 17. We have Jake Ferguson at 9.5, Conklin at 9.3. That was from Thursday. But then, Mike, it's just 6 points is the next best, and there's just not much else, dude. It is – we are struggling at this position in a bad way, man. It is.
That's a A-Warp tight end king right there.
Dude, it's actually hard to believe how bad the whole position is performing in general. Charbonnet, Mike.
He looked good today.
Dude, Charbonnet felt like he was angry at you, buddy, from last week's talk. He had a game. He had a game.
He looked good. I'll give him his props for today. He looked really good. Now, the only thing I don't want to see is all those people who were calling for Zach Charbonnet because they thought maybe in this offense he'd have this bigger role. When Kenneth Walker's back, it's his fucking team, boy. Don't take your Charbonnet victory laps because K-Dub's on the sidelines right now.
That's fair. But I mean,
that wasn't the reason. Listen. If you wanted to bake it in,
good,
like, hey, If you wanted to bake in that the reason you like Charbonnet is because he's a good handcuff in case Kenneth Walker gets injured, I would have gave you that one, and congratulations. But that's not what these fuckers were doing in the offseason, Adam. None of these fuckers were doing that. They were saying new offense, new coaching staff. We don't know usage and how it's going to break down. Maybe Charbonnet is going to be the lead dog in the backfield. Shut the fuck up. It's Kenneth Walker's team. Until further notice.
Here's what I'll say. I want to pivot to another game because speaking of, I guess, handcuff, the third handcuff. But Mike, I mean, listen, I'm not one to celebrate a lot of my L's, but listen, didn't do much. Got yourself a touchdown with Cam Akers. That's how bad the Texans' offense was. That we'll talk about him so far. I mean, it was what happened today for the Texans. Honestly, Mike, it was gross. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this for the sanity of all the people that live around me, who I know. I'm gonna do it for you, Cody Carpentier. Let's not talk about what happened to the Texans, and let's talk about what the Vikings are doing. Okay.
Let's give them the fucking props.
Well, I mean, we can. We got the Texans, so let's at least say what did or did not happen. I mean, Diggs had a day.
Yes, he did. A little revenge game for him, huh?
Not the way he probably wanted to see the score column, but he did have a lot of usage. Should not have been shocking given the narratives around the Vikings game, right?
This Texans offense struggled without Joe Mixon in there. The kind of physical presence he had been giving them the first couple weeks, and C.J. Stroud had a real tough day with Brian Flores' defense. Brian Flores was doing some fucking things to him that, you remember back in the day.
C.J. did not look good at all today, man.
You remember Sam Darnold when he played the Patriots and said he was seeing ghosts?
Yeah.
CJ looked like he was seeing ghosts today, man. Brian Flores was on that ass.
Fair. I mean, yeah. Nico was okay, nothing great.
We're good. We're good. I don't have to issue a public apology. He was just whatever.
He was okay. He didn't break fantasy, right?
Yep.
All right, Mike, let's get to it. The fact that this isn't a blow-up is honestly, this is just lack of time. But this guy here has been as good as you could possibly be, I guess is the best way I could say it. Like, relative to what you could have expected him to do, I don't know what you could expect anything better than this so far, period.
Now, I'm still not there with Fizzle that they're going to have a tough time saying goodbye to him. They'll gladly say goodbye to him for J.J. McCarthy next year. But I am there.
If we're on this rate, we stay on this rate, I don't know that that's for sure. Now, I'm not going to say it can't be because it can go downhill at any point.
Sammy fucking Darnold's starting for a team next year.
Well, that's already without question. He could get hurt tomorrow, season ender, and he's going to get a starting job next year. I mean,
damn.
Dude, I mean, Mike, what do you want? The guys to be 3-0 with, I think it was 8 touchdowns in the first 3 weeks. The only other quarterbacks on a new team to do that was Kurt Warner and Matt Stafford. Like,
so
those guys went to the Super Bowl, buddy.
Think of all these trash organizations like the Jets.
Mike, let me just get way ahead of ourselves, okay? And I'm gonna just say that, but I don't need to middle ground this. Let's get way ahead of ourselves. Let's say, Mike, that this team actually wins a game or two in the playoffs now.
Okay.
That happens, Mike. They ain't saying goodbye for JJ next year.
I would agree with you then. If that was a scenario where they go into the playoffs and let's say they upset the 49ers again.
Yeah. They win they win one game in the playoffs on the road or something like that. You got probably a conversation where they don't go to JJ. They go to the championship game, Mike. All bets are off. You could forget it.
I'm with you. Yeah, then they definitely won't say goodbye. I don't think so.
Aaron Jones
he looks really good.
Game today.
But I bring it up to the Jets and the Panthers being trash organizations, and you see like the success other than today that like Baker's had when he's outside of that. You see what Sam Darnold's doing now, who was also on the Jets and the Panthers. You know what I'm saying? Somebody trade for fucking Zach Wilson and start him. You know what I mean? Like the Raiders trade for Zach Wilson. You might have found the greatest quarterback ever. Could just be the Jets. Could just be the Panthers. Trade for all the fucking guys that they cast off.
It's all right, Beaker. I was prepared for that to happen, but guess what? Noah didn't disappoint. All right, I'm glad you believed. Aaron Jones had a ball game today, Mike.
Yeah, we can pour some cold water on the Ty Chandler thing. Like, it was a question.
Ty Chandler's, I think, removed back to a little more of a handcuffy type of a situation. I mean, his standalone value, I think, is within reason to be doubted now, certainly.
That's a great sombrero, by the way. I love that one.
I mean, this is like a real picture, so I'm like, dude, I just have to. It's a little bit obnoxious, but fuck it, right?
Nah.
Let's do it.
Talk your shit, King.
Especially on a day like today. I feel like I might need to dial up too. Like Aaron Jones on a good day gets this one. When he's not him, we'll give him like last week. He shouldn't have had this hologram, right?
Yeah.
Mike, let's start off with Dallas Goedert of all people. The whole passing offense was a struggle except for one player, honestly.
Except for Dallas Goedert.
What happened?
They could not fucking cover Dallas Goedert. I love it, man. Down A.J. Brown. You want to talk about another team. Unlike your Browns, who has a billion injuries, we got a billion injuries where I was like, what the fuck is going on? No Lane Johnson, no A.J. Brown. Smitty goes out with a fucking concussion. We got some dude I've never heard of playing right tackle. I'm like, what the fuck? Jalen Hurts did not look good. We couldn't really do anything outside of run Saquon Barkley. The defense was playing solid enough, but it was still kind of a question mark. Thank you, the fucking savior, Dallas Goedert. Dallas Goedert is the GOAT.
And sure enough,
I'm never benching Dallas Goedert again, just off of this one game.
I have such a sweet Saquon one that won't come up, and you know what? It's okay. I don't need to show it because I'll act like I've been there before, Mike. Nick and I had a bet. Shout out to BDGE. All offseason, there's a lot of chatter that maybe he just hasn't been the same. He's not the same quads, right? He lost a step. So I had the bet of he wouldn't run a touch. He would not have a touchdown of 60 or more, which, Mike, frankly, that's a ridiculous touchdown, 60 or more, right? But I took it. Cashed it in week 3, so I appreciate that. We'll have a jersey coming of my choice at some point here soon.
Do you get to cash it again? Do you get a second jersey?
I don't know when it happens again. When he goes for another 70-yard touchdown, I don't know if that's how that works. If I already just automatically win. Here's what I know. Saquon, to me, is right now when they're having bad weeks or rough patches on offense. Saquon's the motor of this offense already.
He sets the tone, maybe.
That's kind of hard to believe that the offense is kind of dependent on him personally 3 weeks in. That's how important he is for this offense. That's at least from the eyes test to me.
I guess it's good and bad. You don't want to be too reliant on a guy, an older running back, even though it is Saquon Barkley, probably the best talented running back I think we've ever seen outside of Adrian Peterson, LaDainian Tomlinson, maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the category that he's in. Saquon looks fucking amazing. I don't know if it's a good or bad thing. I'm gonna err on the side of, glass half full, okay? I don't like leaning on a running back that much, but you imagine when Jalen Hurts figures this shit out, this offense starts getting clicking, and A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith and Dallas Goedert and the offensive line's healthy. Holy Santa Claus shit, this Eagles offense could be really fun.
I don't know if we get it quite, but I think if
I don't know if we get it quite, but I'm just thinking long term.
The receiving yardage I think would be the problem here for quads, but I'll be honest with you, dude. I'm not going to rule it out either. This guy looks absolutely tremendous. I'll tell you what doesn't look tremendous, Mike, though. Okay,
Johnny Wilson.
Well, that too, but we're talking holograms here. Johnny Wilson, we know we don't have one, won't need one. I don't know, Mike. This Dolphins offense, I was worried about Skyler. Rip had a hard day today with Skylar Thompson playing like he did and Malik playing like he did. I have to imagine somewhere. But Mike, I didn't see this Dolphins offense being so bad this week, personally.
Skylar Thompson's fucking terrible, man. There's no way.
I wasn't going to argue on the opposite. I wasn't going to say he was good, but I thought they would be able to hide him better than that this week. It was rough.
No, they
was
couldn't
bad,
do shit.
dude.
They couldn't even rely on Achane because they couldn't get the running game going. They couldn't get the ball to Tyreek. They couldn't get it to Waddle. They couldn't do fucking anything. This Dolphins offense looks disgusting.
Dude,
Mike, all you people out there who shit on Tua and he said, "Oh, he's a product of the system. He's only putting up these stats because he's with all these weapons." You see what an actual shitty fucking quarterback can do. You guys owe fucking Tua the most amount of apologies in the entire world. Anybody who owns a Dolphins player in fantasy right now is begging for the health of Tua Tagovailoa.
They've ordered a lot of Scott's toilet TP. They're ready for I think the shit that hit the fan, buddy. Because, Mike, here's the thing. What I did not picture today, let me just give you some clarity to how this went down. Devon Achane was outscored today by Tajay Spears, Tyler Batty, Jaleel McLaughlin, Trey Sermon, Cam Akers. I mean, I could keep going, but I think I've made the point, okay? Like, that's crazy. That's crazy to me.
I did learn today that to say Tyler Beatty's name correctly is
Batty.
Like, no. No. Badi.
Mike, and then I'm also looking. Let's talk Tyreek Hill, or do we need to? I mean, I don't know.
No, not with Skylar Thompson. We can put him on a milk carton.
I was convinced, Mike, that Tyreek Hill was not someone I needed to worry about. But Mike,
apparently we do.
Not just. I would say not only do we need to worry about him though, but like, Mike, we're talking about he didn't get the rock. We're talking about he didn't do a thing. Like what? You know, I even said this midweek. I said one thing I'm certain about Miami doing, and just McDaniel, they're going to manufacture touches for Tyreek Hill. Mm-hmm. What? That is something you should just do. Like, even if Skylar Thompson's horrible, the offense is trash. Why? Why don't we manufacture touches for this guy?
We all love Mike McDaniel from what he's done for his first couple of years as a head coach. Adam, but these last 2 weeks, are we going to start hearing some of this? Like, I don't want to be fuck it, I'll be the first one. I'll be the first one to start questioning some of these decisions. Right? Last week it was running Achane a billion fucking times when the game was already out of hand. You already lost Tua. It's fucking over, and you're going to go get your little tiny running back killed. And this week, no Tua. You can't run the football. You can't scheme up easy touches, screen passes for Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill.
I mean, well, here's the thing. I saw one of the first plays, they kind of manufactured one for Jalen Waddle, and I'm like, all right, like, Get Waddle some of his too. It just, like, this dude, I just don't get it, man. We got the guy 3 catches for 40, like 5 targets. Buddy, they're losing the whole game. I don't know. I'm ready to get off of this game. It makes me kind of like just question, what did you expect to happen? Did you not expect to get down? And then did you not expect once you got punched in the mouth to try to get the ball to your playmakers?
Nope. Fuck it. Let's throw some to Julian Hill.
That one really, that game to me puzzling. Sean, I know you're here with us, and I know you're feeling what I'm feeling, buddy, and that's puzzling. It's very puzzling.
Rough day for the Dolphins family too, man. The sad passing of Mercury Morris.
Yeah, but true.
Legend, Dolphins legend. It was a rough day all around for Dolphins fans.
Mike, the 49ers, I'll put Mason up here, but here's the thing. Jawan Jennings is going to be the highest scoring fantasy player, I think, in history of fantasy to not have a hologram up here. And I knew there was a chance. I just didn't. The 4 o'clock games don't give me the time to get one up. What he did, not just, dude, that performance is going to be hard to see anybody else do for the season, honestly. Like, that might be the best single performance on the week for the whole year.
That was like some Gabe Davis level shit.
We're talking 50 points, dude. 50 points, 12 targets, 11 catches on 12 targets, 3 touchdowns, 175. Dog.
Sure. Adam, you don't know this, but we're last Thursday night when the Dolphins were playing on Thursday Night Football. We're all going crazy in voice chat because they kept throwing the ball to some dude named Grant DeBose. That's Corey's favorite player now.
They need a Grant DeBose. Nice.
Fucking Grant DeBose. I'll say this, man. Jawan Jennings, he balled out of his fucking mind. That was crazy. Good to see it, too. I've always liked that kid. I've always thought he's really solid. He runs like a 4.8 40, though, at the wide receiver, but he's just a dog. He's just a fucking dog. I'm fair, though. I'll be fair. Brock Purdy played his fucking ass off today, man.
Sure did.
Brock Purdy was balling.
Can't take a thing from him, man.
He was fucking balling. Now, there's like one pass he threw where I was like, there's that Brock Purdy. You know, like that shit should have been picked. He lucked out. But other than that, man, the dude's making fucking scramble plays. He's looking like what Caleb Williams should be looking like. Doing circles, running around for 20 fucking seconds to gain 5 yards and keep the clock moving.
Yeah.
dude was out there just fucking dealing too, man. Brock Purdy played his fucking ass off. And Jordan Mason, unfortunately, he did have a hologram. He was just kind of okay.
He was solid. He was all right. He wasn't.
Right.
I think the day in general for the Niners was stolen by Juwan Jennings.
How about Brandon Ayuk, though, man? What
Brandon
the fuck is wrong with you?
He's on a milk carton, buddy.
Dude, he got 10 targets today, but he didn't do fuck with them.
He's on a milk carton, dude. I'm genuinely. I'm not putting his hologram up. You don't deserve it today. This is.
Can we put him in the Zay Flowers territory now?
I'm getting concerned, though, Mike. To be honest with you, because here's the thing: this is a talent that we've seen ball out of control. I'm a little worried about what's going on with him. Is this just the holdout? Is this just the holdout, kind of looming still?
Rust.
Is that what this is? How does that happen?
I might be looking portfolio-wise to move some this week, strategically.
I just feel like it's going to be really hard to do without taking a pretty nice little L on it, man.
Where the fuck were you guys? I just jerked Purdy off live on air for 2 minutes. I deep-throated the whole thing.
Just literally go back, 120 seconds.
All 2 inches.
I mean, listen, he played great today. I won't take a thing from Purdy. Obviously, Juwan Jennings benefited or vice versa, whichever way you want to call it. But the Rams, I'll just say the Rams look better than I expected them today. I was worried this whole Rams offense was going to look completely abysmal.
Terrible.
Yeah, and they were not that.
They got the dub, too, man. Who the fuck saw that coming?
Nobody, dude. Come on, man. I was convinced, because here's the thing, Mike. The Niners have already had Sean McVay's number when they play for the most part. You're telling me this whole Rams team is kind of in shambles, and they're gonna. This is the time they're gonna, take it to Shanahan. Things I would not have called today. Not that.
My apologies to Kyron Williams too, man. I thought your touch load was gonna come down and. In the most crucial time where they have nobody else to go to, it's all Kyron Williams all day, man.
Dude,
he wasn't the most efficient today, but it don't matter when you're getting fucking that many touches, man.
I don't think his efficiency his efficiency is going to be kind of something that you can throw away, because that offensive line right now is just in shambles, dude. You ain't going to be efficient with that O-line. It's not happening. But what a collapse, in my opinion, by the Niners today, dude. This is just...
Defensively, too, and that's something that you really think is going to happen to the 49ers. I love to see it as a known Niners hater, and I'll still give Brock Purdy credit. This loss wasn't on him. It's on their fucking defense.
Yeah.
No Cooper Kupp, no Puka Nacua, no offensive line, and you still take the L? When you were up that big, too? You were in control of the whole game.
If you just look at the stats, too, if you didn't watch the game, you just look at the stats, you're like, Stafford 16-25, 221 and a touchdown. No one did much in the receiving game. Kyron had a solid day on the ground, but 89 yards, 3 yards per carry. How do you get 27 points out of that?
Exactly.
That game, very confusing. Speaking of confusing, I think a lot of things were confusing this week. We appreciate everyone's happening, man. We're gonna call it. Mike, I'll say this. This week, and you know what's crazy about this week, Mike? We still have a couple games, obviously, but...
Hey, and we're picking up with the Falcons right where we left off last week. Drake London Tutty.
Dude, well, I'm going to say Kirk Cousins, whatever he found in that tail end of that game versus your Eagles.
Down the field. Drake London Tutty. You'd love to see it. Kyle Pitts still on a milk carton. Never heard of him.
There you go. You know what? Why not? Why not put him up here,
Put him he deserves it, man.
Sure, absolutely does. And here's what I'll say, Mike. I want to remind people out there that are looking for better days ahead. Bye weeks are coming.
The bye weeks are coming.
It's going to get ugly, buddy. If you thought it was bad this week.
Dude, more quarterback injuries too.
Dude, I mean, what do you want?
Justin Herbert, like Justin Herbert.
Herbert couldn't walk, right, bro?
Yeah, dude. Damn it.
You know what's crazy though? Nice he hasn't been good. He wasn't. I wish he would be healthy and playing, because I think people were going to be disappointed by him. But now it's like, Mike, what do you do with Herbert right now? The high ankle that he immediately hurts too. It's like that high ankle ain't right, man. And high ankles, a lot of times you never recover really the whole year.
This ain't fucking real, is it?
What?
Sam Darnold's younger than Joe Burrow.
I believe. Joe Burrow's an old head, buddy.
No way.
Yeah.
Sam Darnold.
Now, you know who's really young?
7.3 years old.
Joe Burrow's like 27 and a half, man. You know?
27.8. Half a year older. God damn, I would have never guessed. Sam Darnold. Oh, that's right. He came in, he was like 21 when he came in the league.
Yep.
Fuck.
Well, I hope you're ready for...
Fizz, we might have found a new franchise quarterback for the Minnesota Vikings.
Yeah, Kirk's out. Darnold's in. JJ got hurt.
Before we bounce, though, your prediction. Aiden O'Connell start next week for the Raiders? Because Gardner Minshew was junk.
I don't think so. But I think he gets one more week. But I do think that the Panthers are no longer the, pushover team that they once were. I think that's my big takeaway from that game. The first 2 weeks, anyone who's playing against the Panthers, it's fire them up and fire them up heavily. DFS to the moon. I don't know if they're the same pushover anymore, but that Raiders team, buddy, not great.
Jameer White fucking is terrible. So,
well, if you needed this game to know that, you haven't been following us. And if you want to know more, Mike, money moves so far. Odunze looking pretty good. Amari Cooper looking pretty good, and it's a little early. We'll see what happens with Brian Thomas Jr. tomorrow. I'm not wishing anything bad on the kid, but again, when I made that video, wide receiver 15, he's wide receiver 14 on Keep Trade Cut. So probably still plenty of time to cash out on some Brian Thomas Jr. right now, man.
I'll give you a month too. If Brian Thomas Jr. tomorrow goes out and gets 2 tutties, I won't argue with you about anything for the rest of the year. You know what I mean? I'm just gonna trust Adam. Whatever Adam says goes.
Trust
whatever
the process.
Advice he gives me, I'm just fucking doing it.
And what you should
on a fucking heater.
And don't you dare, before it's all over, tell me I should be cutting Cam Akers starting today, having in the end zone. And Mike, last but not least, you know what? Let me not do this. Let me end this the correct way, because you guys were ready to call this all off. Not that guy. Not that guy. Maybe I'll find him here. I think somewhere.
One of them.
Noah Fant. How about that, Mike?
That guy. The deep cut.
Noah Fant. Stop doubting him. We love you. We'll see you back here, same time, same place next week for the Sunday recaps. We're out of this thing. Peace.
Peace.